What's up, Natural Bodybuilding World? This is John Bossy here at the 2012 Mr. Olympia Expo, covering for Mike Newman's Inside Natural Bodybuilding. Here with three-time Natural Mr. Universe and three-time Natural Mr. Olympia, Kiyoshi Moody. Kiyoshi, how's it going?
I'm doing good, doing good.
Awesome. So you're obviously here, starting to roll into your final preparation stages for the Natural Olympia.
Yes, six weeks. 6 weeks,
cool. So you had a knee injury, correct?
Yes, I did. I tore my medial meniscus.
Okay.
So it was pretty rough for a while.
And we're doing all right?
Right now we're all healed up. I just started I did my first leg workout this week, and it went pretty well. I always have to hold back a little bit to make sure I don't re-injure it.
Yep.
So even though my head said, let's go harder, I had to make sure that I always stay, I had to stay within myself.
Gotcha. So what kind of adjustments have you had to make to your training now that you're back at it? What can you anticipate your leg training being like between now and the Olympia to hang on to the size that you have, that you're known for with your legs?
About another week, I'm going to get back into heavy leg training. I would say within the first week or two, I had to make sure that I had to actually back off a little bit and not go as heavy. So what I did was I just went higher reps. Instead of doing 50 to 100, I did 150 to 175 reps, just to get as much blood into that muscle as I can. But at the same time, make sure I protect that knee joint.
Gotcha, okay. So the Natural Olympia is on November 10th, correct?
November 8th, 9th, 10th.
9th and 10th, gotcha. Are there any other shows you'll be doing? Are we going to see you at the Yorton?
Nope. Gotcha. No Yorton. And, everybody's always asked me how come I don't do the Yorton. To me, I'm not saying I like to be put up against the best. To me, being the best is competing against the best, and that's worldwide. And I've really taken a look at as far as like the Yorton, and a lot of those guys I've competed against, and a lot of those guys I've competed against in the NPC, I've competed against in the IFBA, I've competed against in the IMBA. Now, when I talk about the worldwide, I'm talking about from Italy, from Australia, New Zealand, Korea, Greece, worldwide. So I like competing against world competition. I've always had, when I went to the World Championships, when I did compete in the NPC, I competed against guys that were from, Czechoslovakia, all those European countries. Those guys were good competition. Even though I placed really low, I like competing against the best. So and then it comes down to monetary value too. To me, I'm going to spend, everybody talks about how high the fees are in IMBA. But and I get into a little argument with Cleveland Thomas sometimes too, because it's $250 for entry fee, but excuse me, the rewards are a little bit different. $250, you win the show, you win a car, or
piling up, you're gonna have to get another garage.
Exactly,
right?
either a car or 15,000. So the weighing of the thing, it's a little bit different, because if I went to the IFPA and did the Yorton, what the fees are put together about 150, 175, you only get back $3,000. Last year was 3,100 or 3,500. Yeah. To me, 3,500 or a brand new car or 15,000. Well, that'd be stupid if I say, okay, let's do 3,500.
And in your case, you have to travel further too, right?
Exactly.
Usually.
Yeah, which is back. This year it's in Arizona, but I will be there to watch.
Yeah.
Because I will be there to watch, because a really good friend of mine, Philip Ricardo, is going to be competing at the Yorton.
Yeah.
And, to me, he's one of the main competitors that's going to be coming up in the Natural Olympia. So
speaking of Rico, the last time that you two faced off was at the IFBA Pro USA, correct?
No,
Team USA.
No, okay. It was our last time we competed against each other was the Natural Olympia. Natural Olympia. We competed in the IFBA.
Yep.
At Bob and Tina show, the USA's in Sacramento.
Okay.
He beat me.
Yep.
And then he came back. I did some shows along the way. He did some shows along the way. We met again at the Natural Olympia. This time I beat him. Mm-hmm. So it goes back and forth. We've been always good friends since 1988. We've competed against each other. We competed against each other in 1998 at the Team USA. That's the first time. So, and that was the first time he's ever beat me was at the Sacramento show.
Yeah.
And I know the conditioning that Rico brings. He brings a condition, real condition package.
Yep.
So, I know what kind of conditioning he always brings.
Gotcha. So you're going to see a little preview of that at the Yorton Cup.
Yes.
What is it going to take for you to come out on top at the Natural Olympia?
You know what? It's this year I'm already ahead of schedule. So conditioning-wise, I'm not too worried about it. It's just maintaining my size. And I know if I can maintain my size, then I'll have an edge over everybody else. Because just by, I'm not bragging about myself, but I know when I look at the pictures, and sometimes when you're on stage, you don't realize how big someone is until you actually see the pictures. And when everybody always tells me how big I am. God, you're big and this and that. I don't consider myself that big. I consider myself like a Michael Waddington or Joseph Figueroa. These guys are big, but in reality, they're not that big. When they come off the stage. So when I see pictures of myself, I look at them. I'm like, holy shit. I go, damn, I am a lot bigger than I actually is. I said, but I know myself. I said, well, you know what? This year, I'm going to get in better condition. I'm going to bring in a hella light, tighter package, more conditioning, so I can sacrifice a little size. So that that's my main objective this year.
What do you? Any predictions on what you might weigh on stage?
Right now, I'm right at 200 pounds. So with about 6 weeks out, anywhere between 190 to 200. Okay. I want to say probably I'll drop down to about 193 to 194, right around there. I'm just guessing. But if I carb up and everything back up, I'll be right around 190, 195, 196, 197.
And are you working with anyone to help get ready for the show, or is there anyone you kind of bounce your conditioning off as you get closer to the show days?
The only person that I'm working with, hold on, let me grab her right now. Come here real quick.
Hi, everyone.
This is my better half right here. This is who helps me with my diet and my training. She does a lot for my, especially for my training, whether I'm doing like my carb cycling and everything else. She's the one that actually helps me a lot. And this is my girlfriend, Julianne.
Hello.
Second eye.
Second eye. So if he's looking flat, I tell him to eat a steak. If he's looking fat, I tell him he's fat and to get on cardio. Yeah. So you have to be honest with him. And I think we're a good team doing that. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. My worst critic.
Very good.
Don't mess with me.
She's very, very hard on me. So, I always make sure that, I've always, make sure that I listen to her, even though I don't want to sometimes. Yeah. She'll tell me this. It doesn't go in one ear, go out the other ear. It goes in. It just doesn't get processed right away.
It processed for like 2 days, and then he'll come back and say, "You're right, babe."
Yeah.
So okay, thank you guys.
So looking forward, let's say after the Natural Olympia, obviously, are you going to have knee surgery at that point, or?
You know what? The doctor says I'm supposed to have knee surgery, but I'm gonna see how it heals up. If I do, it'll be my 9th knee surgery, and I'm just, it's almost to me where it's like an oil change now. Yeah. They go in, they scope it, they fix it, and it comes out tighter. The only part I hate, and I've hated it, since the very first knee surgery, is the physical therapy. I'd rather go train, I'd rather go run, I'd rather go do everything else but physical therapy. And if you've ever been through a knee surgery, any type of surgery, when you're doing therapy, it's like 10 times as worse.
Slow moving process.
Yeah, it's hard. But whether I have surgery or not, it's all going to depend on how I feel after the Natural Olympia.
Okay. And then after that, any plans for future shows in 2013, 14?
I really don't know. I really don't know yet. I've contemplated retiring. After this might be my last show. I'm not sure yet. I won't know until it's all said and done. But half of me says retire. Half of me says, you know what? Let's compete another year. Let's take it show by show. But I always have to think about my daughter, about what she's going to be doing in the future as far as sports and school and everything else. So I take that into consideration first, and then I go show by show.
Good. Always get that balance in life, for sure. So looking at these last 6 weeks, what are the changes you plan on making? What are you going to do to dial it in and that real lean package we're all looking for?
Right now, in the last 8 weeks, what I've done is usually right now with my diet, I'll still eat fish. Chicken. And within the last 8 weeks, I switched completely over to fish, which I really don't. Even last year, the year before, I've always kept chicken until like the last 3 weeks. I've switched over to fish. This year, I started 8 weeks, started with fish. But what I've done is a little bit, just keep myself full, is to keep the carbs in my diet, which I'm still getting leaner. So this year's a little bit different. I've kept my white rice in, the Japanese sweet potatoes, which are like high, it's more like it's a high glycemic carb. Yep. So I've kept that in, and I'm still getting leaner, and I'm still dropping weight slowly. So if I can, I'm still staying full, which I want to do. And probably the last 2 weeks I'll add in the meat, but actually this year I backed off on my cardio a little bit, which is every year is going to be different. It doesn't matter who you are, so it's going to be a little bit different. So this year I've adjusted by keeping the carbs in and starting with the fish.
We'll probably get to wrap this up here. Any final advice? So anyone watching, if you had to give, just 1 or 2 tidbits of advice for how to be successful in this sport, what would they be?
Patience, and listen to criticism. A lot of people go out there and I give advice to a lot of people, but if you can take constructive criticism, just like when I talk to judges, I'd rather have somebody tell me like it is. Say, you know what, Kiyoshi, you look like shit. Or, you look good, or your color looks horrible, you need to change this, you need to change that. I'm going to take that into account. And, because they're actually, people are trying to help you, achieve that, that look that you want. But sometimes a lot of people, they don't do that. So that and patience. I like for instance, a Ryan Doris, he's 25 years old. If he sticks with this, he probably can't see 10 years down the line by the time he's 35. He's going to be incredible. You see a lot of these younger guys, if they can be patient. I didn't start bodybuilding until I was 28, and I took time off. But if you can keep on being consistent, being patient, you'll go a long way.
Definitely. Words from the champ. All right. Well, thank you, Kiyoshi, for your time. This is John Bossi with Kiyoshi Moody. We're here at the 2012 Mr. Olympia Expo, and this is Inside Natural Bodybuilding. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Come on. So living it up. To everybody that be living it up.